Dear finance professionals and students, welcome to podcast of Fca Deepak Rao, a practicing chartered accountant. Daily news and updates for 17th February 2025. Indian companies and trade organizations are adopting a cautious approach, watching and waiting to see how the situation unfolds following US President Donald Trump's threats to impose reciprocal tariffs on Indian exports to the US. India runs a trade surplus with the US at $45 billion in calendar year 2024, according to Morgan Stanley, making it the seventh largest trade surplus among nations that have a trade surplus with the US. Some industries likely to be affected by the reciprocal tariff include automobile, auto components, steel, pharmaceuticals, and textile. India's bilateral trade with the United States is set to experience significant growth, with a target to reach $500 billion by 2030 and plans for new bilateral trade agreements. Exporters are optimistic that this will boost India's exports to the US, particularly in sectors such as technology, defense, and green energy, making Indian exports more competitive globally. ICAI has released the revised edition of the Technical Guide on Accounting for Expenditure on Corporate Social Responsibility Activities, updated in January 2025. The guide provides comprehensive guidance on the recognition, measurement, and disclosure of CSR expenditures, ensuring compliance with the legal requirements and transparency in financial reporting. It covers both cash and in-kind CSR activities, handling unspent CSR funds, and the importance of proper disclosure, making it an essential resource for chartered accountants and company management. A company that entered into an export supply agreement with its subsidiary sought informal guidance from SEBI on whether issuing equity shares against export advance is allowed under SEBI ICDR norms. SEBI clarified that Regulation 163, Subclause 3, is specific to preferential issue of shares for consideration other than cash, only in case of share swaps. Therefore, a company cannot issue equity shares against export advances, as it is an outstanding liability. The RBI has expanded the scope of permissible contracts for the sale or purchase of government securities, gold-related securities, and money market securities. Now, any contract specifically permitted by the RBI is included under the list of permissible contracts. Earlier, the permissible contracts included only spot contracts and other contracts traded on a recognized stock exchange as permissible under the SCRA rules and bylaws of such stock exchange. Post the COVID-19 pandemic, Japanese companies are eyeing India as a base as they adopt the China Plus One strategy to diversify their manufacturing and supply chains to reduce dependence on China. The strategy involves establishing production facilities in alternative countries, with India emerging as a significant beneficiary. While the sheer scale of India's domestic market is a major draw, what makes India even more compelling is its well-established business and talent networks across these regions. ICAI has released the revised edition of the FAQ on the Limited Liability Partnership Act 2008, updated in January 2025. This guide provides essential insights into the LLP framework, covering key amendments, LLP formation, governance, partner responsibilities, and financial disclosures. It also includes updates on compliance processes, LLP e-filing, and the transition to the MCA version 3 portal, ensuring stakeholders are well informed on the latest regulatory requirements.
This podcast is sponsored by Sound of CA. We share because we care. Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.